Hey guys, it's Christina, and
we can see us.
We can.
So awesome.
We are so excited because we are joined by Fox's Outnumbered, Harris Faulkner. How are you?
Thank you for having me.
No, thanks for coming, and of course Brody, fresh off the flight from Qatar.
I'm back.
Yes.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, just a little.
How
moment.
was it?
It was incredible. I was in Doha.
Yeah.
It was beautiful. It blew my mind. It was such an incredible, exclusive, slap shot into the Middle East. I'd never been before.
That's awesome. And we have 10,000 American troops on the ground there because that's where our
there's a
overseas
big
U.S.
base.
command is.
Yeah.
So that's very. Did you hang with the Emir and you let him know?
I was looking for the Emir, that 6'5" Emir, but could not get close enough.
That's someplace else.
I
didn't mean to take it personal. I was just talking in terms of diplomacy.
I don't quite think I'm his thing, but I was. But I was looking for him, and he was, not to be found.
No, he was busy. He's trying to keep
busy.
peace out there. I
He
guess.
was just here too.
Yeah, no, he did. He was here because we were getting ready to hit Syria, and we used our Air Force is there.
Yeah, very
So we
close.
had to we had to kind of smooth that out because it had been said that maybe they were tied to some terrorism by our current president and everybody else in the Middle East.
Right.
So we had to smooth that out.
It's complicated.
So we did. We did. Everything is complicated. You know what will help? When you find the Emir.
Yeah. When I find the Emir, but I have to go back clearly.
Clearly.
I vote for Doha.
Speaking of things that are complicated, not as complicated as that, but we have Khloe Kardashian and Tristan Thompson. We have all the details on what's going on with them. We have all the details on what's going on with John Cena and Nikki Bella's breakup and the top secret I do details for the royal wedding. So we're going to get to all of that. Plus, we want to hear from you guys, so please send us your questions and your comments. But first, we have to talk to Harris about everything that you have going on because you are a busy, busy woman.
Well, Christina, thank you. We're about to have our 4th anniversary for Outnumbered, which is kind of like news, politics, in a talk show format, but a girls' trip to Vegas.
Nice.
So there are 4 of us and 1 guy in the middle who we call Outnumbered. But sometimes topically we can be because I weigh in on a lot of the cultural issues.
Sure.
I mean, I cover breaking news a lot. So during that hour with this current administration, there's so much going on between noon and 1 Eastern. It used to be that area where everybody would just kind of get up and go grab lunch or whatever. But we've been very blessed with viewership that is off the charts. So we are so grateful for that. And the ladies with whom I work, we have a good time. We find the humor in things, and then we cover some hard news too. And then on October 2nd of last year, I was blessed with my own show that's called Outnumbered Overtime with Harris Faulkner. And we kind of toggle back away from the talk show back into the news with heavy hitters and newsmakers. And I've talked with half of Congress since October, I'm sure. Wow. So it's been great. I mean, we've had so many things to talk about just in terms of foreign policy and everything. But then we have some fun moments too. We have some things going on as well.
So good mix of both hard news and some fun.
Well, and I think what people probably don't realize about Us Weekly when we first walked in. I mean, this is a newsroom just like ours, and I mean, you guys are going after it too. And not everything you cover is light and airy.
Sure.
I mean, some of it does have some serious texture to it. So it was fun to be able to see that. I'm like, Us Weekly. Bringing it.
Totally.
So,
speaking of fun, you were actually just parodied on SNL, which is amazing.
Was that fun?
Yeah.
Was that the definition
Was it
of
fun for you? Was it fun for you?
I'm glad you told me. Leslie Jones.
She's amazing.
Leslie Jones had my hair. They laid that baby down. I was like, did she pop my powder blue dress? She did. I was flattered by the fact that it was her because I think she's so funny. And when she did the Fox News alert, I thought it was pretty funny.
Yeah.
Like I didn't quite understand at first, like where they were going with it. Like but she became me, and it was really. My relatives all loved it.
Oh, I'm sure.
Good.
Yeah, my cousins, everybody really. So I was flattered. I mean, if I could just be so bold to point out, there were technically 2 women of color starting off SNL. Her being me.
Yeah.
And just me.
Yeah.
So next time, maybe I can play Leslie Jones on somewhere.
That would be good.
Maybe my Instagram page.
No, totally. We actually have a clip of it, so I want to show everybody.
More
so
fun.
More fun. So take a look at this.
Hi, I'm Harris Faulkner, and you're watching Outnumbered. Outnumbered is the title of the show, and also how I feel here at Fox News.
You made it when they were parodying you on SNL. Totally.
It's bigger on your, because I've only seen it on my phone. It's bigger in
So you
here.
had no idea that this was happening.
So I just noticed something. She has my blue nail polish on from the day that I was wearing that dress.
They're
last
not
That's so
messing
funny.
around.
They don't.
No.
Every detail.
But I mean, you're, Us Weekly brings
Right.
it, so you guys are going to be bigger than my phone. So, well, thank you for telling me what fun really is.
Yes. Robert says, love the format of Outnumbered.
Oh, thank you, Robert.
Yes,
Yeah,
definitely.
thank you very much. Just to go back to Leslie for 1 second. So on social media, apparently, people were hashtagging my fake news lashes.
Oh,
So she had on my eyelashes and everything.
I was
which
just saying, eyelashes
you know
look
what?
great.
Thank you. I walk boldly in this life.
I love a good lash.
Ooh,
Yeah.
I like that.
I got my fake eyelashes on too, so
See?
don't worry. Don't worry. You also have a book coming out, 9
do.
Rules of Engagement, out June 5th.
And it's kind of funny because I've never actually held one. So I want to know who you guys are and how you actually got it. Because I don't have
Before you
one.
did.
In fact, I was asked today, we were on a conference call with the publisher because it's already on pre-order on Amazon and Barnes & Noble right now. We announced it on Outnumbered a week and a half ago with my squad, as I like to call them. And I have a chapter in the book that talks about one of the 9 rules of engagement that talks about the people around us and why it's so important for us to be with the right people for our dreams to come true, and just be careful who you share your dreams with, because not everybody has your 6, as we say in the military, because it's based on my military growing up as a military brat. And I like to say, if I'm on your squad and I'm on your squad, I'm going to watch your 6. You've seen me, I'm more of a 12. So it's a little bit bigger of a job. Right. Really? But yeah, so the book came about because my dad is ex-military, and I was born and raised on a military base, and we traveled all over the world. And in my growing up, I was exposed to generals and lots of leadership. My dad was on support for the Joint Chiefs of Staff when I was in grade school. So I'd met, he served Colin Powell at the time. So I've met great leaders in the country and people who have been there when this country was struggling, in the 60s and the 70s, and those areas of our not so recent history that have given birth to where we are now. And, one of the 9 rules of engagement that I try to tell people is it's very important when people don't see you how you act. And so it's unleashing the power of integrity. So I try to mix all that in. And if you think about our military, that's kind of who they are. I mean, they walk around in camo. It's not their job to be
seen.
To be seen. That's exactly right, Christina. So I talk with a lot of college audiences. I was recently at Liberty University, which looks somewhat like a Billy Joel concert. And I don't sing. But the message really resonates, particularly with people who just want to do something great in their lives. And by the way, that starts at any age. So there were military cadets in that audience. There often are in audiences where I speak, people who are just on what I call the verge, And I was on the verge later in my 30s, like right as I met my husband. And I remember thinking, how do I balance my dreams with this really cute guy who's now my bestie? He's one of my special forces. And what I realized is I went back to the rules, and I'm like, yeah, I think I have some answers from how I grew up. But this book is based on my most popular speech, which is all about the rules of engagement. And I'll have people come up to me and they'll say, how is it that I let my friends treat me the way I let them treat me? Like, I'm not worthy of them letting me complete my sentences. And I'm like, I can't imagine why you do that. You should stop. You should fire some people. You should renovate your squad. So yeah,
Definitely.
I love talking about it.
Yeah, and the book is out June 5th?
It's out June 5th, but people, like I said, can get it now. And right when we talked about it on Outnumbered, because it kind of lends itself to talking about it, there's a chapter in there that's called Own Your Moment. And we're in such a social media society, as we're live on Facebook now, where people, I think, get it twisted. Owning your moment in life is not just trying to be famous for that you've done, but actually leaving a legacy behind that others know you for, that's about goodness. Like, I can tell just sitting with you guys, and I'm really good at reading people. And as a journalist, I have to be. Because I have to try to tell who's telling me the truth and who really means it when they say they're going to give me an exclusive and not turn around and talk to somebody else. But you guys have a warmth about you.
Thank you.
And that is you're welcome. And that's one of the things I look for. Because I think that the world, and we're having the longest winter ever, notwithstanding the weather, can be kind of chilly.
Yeah.
I think that shade sometimes can be thrown like a forest.
Right.
And so the one thing that your squad should give you is love and warmth.
Yeah, you got to surround yourself with good
Yeah.
people.
So there we go. So
Yeah.
my dad, the Colonel, it's all of his war stories start off each chapter because each rule comes from a mission that he was on. And if you turn the back of the book around, wow, they actually gave you guys a book. I thought maybe it was fake. That's my mom.
Oh,
She's
nice.
5'11".
Oh.
Beautiful.
Thank you. I lost her. We lost her 14 months ago.
Oh, sorry.
But that's me on the back of my dad's fighter jet.
That's awesome. That's a
Yeah,
great
on the back of
picture.
that plane. Thank you. And yeah, my mom she was a looker. I try to wear my bang like that, but I don't have enough fashion sense.
You look great, Mom. Yes.
But yeah, so that's that. So I'm excited.
Right, definitely. Well, we can't wait to read the book, and
Oh, thank you.
congratulations. But we have some
you.
stories to
Yeah.
get to today,
Ooh,
and I can't wait to
news?
get
Come on,
to
girl,
news.
bring it.
Can't wait to get your opinion on this.
Celebrity news.
So the whole internet, the world blew up learning about Khloe Kardashian and Tristan Thompson because days before she gave birth to their daughter, True Thompson, photos and videos emerged of Tristan kissing a woman that was not Khloe. Now, a source tells us she is completely humiliated and has never felt betrayal like this since she really trusted him. A source added he is asking her to give him another chance. Now, Khloe faces the tough decision: should she stay or should she go?
Wow.
Oh, Christina, what do you think she's going to decide?
She's gonna stay.
She's going to stay too. I feel the same way too,
Yeah.
which is unfortunate, but it's
Well, now, why are you disappointed by that?
because I think people have been rooting for Khloe. She's one of the favorite Kardashians. They saw the heartbreak she went through with Lamar, and she has been talking about this is the man that she helped find herself.
Yes.
That she's the happiest she's ever been. She's finally getting her baby dream. And then, wow, the rug is pulled out from underneath her. And it's not just that one video of him kissing that
Yeah,
woman.
that's what I
it's
was seeing
multiple,
online.
yeah.
too.
All this multimedia coming out, all
Yeah.
these reports, it's just an avalanche.
It's so bad for
So
her.
I'm impressed by this woman who is stepping up and putting her child first. Because the greatest thing, and I'm a mom, the greatest thing you can give your children is stability. It's not luxury. It's not accessories, although I am a girl who likes it.
So are the Kardashians.
Right? Yeah, we're like
Yeah.
heart connected on that accessory band. But that stability in the beginning is really important because the baby picks up on where you are. And so I was reading that she's made the choice to stay in Ohio, and her
Stay in
sisters have been, come on, back to Cali.
Right.
But he's in the middle of the playoffs, and you can tell I read a little less quickly.
Thank you.
You're welcome. But he's in the middle of the playoffs, and it would be very disrupting. And you want him to have access to the baby
it
when
is
he's
his
home.
child,
They're
yeah.
home against the Pacers tonight, next couple of nights. So. I married a guy who likes the NBA.
Yeah.
I'm really not this smart. I know I'm probably impressing some people,
are.
but
I was like, wow.
I know
hey.
I know what every team is called and where they are.
Yeah.
That's
But I
more
can't
than
tell you
know.
what the records
Oh,
are.
no way.
But I know that it's a home game, and that takes a lot. That's like a real first mom move.
Sure.
Like I'm going to lay down the law for what I need to do for my child, and I'll deal with everything else on the back end. I will say this. If a man cheats on you and you are pregnant, which is glory time on this earth, the good Lord has given you a life to take care of, you do need to sit him down.
Yeah. Well, I mean, he has
He
a
needs
history.
to sit out for
Well,
a
he
while.
No,
cheated
he
on
did it.
his previous girlfriend with Khloe, and she was also
Yeah.
7 months pregnant.
Yeah, she was very pregnant.
Right.
So
You
this
gotta
is not
bench
a
him.
new-
Yeah.
You gotta bench him. Not total access. Come see the baby. This is just me.
Right.
I mean, I'm not gonna second guess what another woman in love would do, but for me personally, that's glory time. You're raising a life. You're bringing something special into this world, and if he needs to creep while you're doing that,
Yeah.
like I think we need to sit down. I have a mom tone though that he wouldn't put up with, so she seems a lot sweeter than I am.
Right. Yeah. Arthur is saying, I see forgiveness and redemption. Well, he is hoping that she gives him another chance.
He definitely is,
Yeah.
and he's not pushing it, our sources have said. But Kris Jenner and, as you noted, her sisters are trying to
Get her
her
back.
out of there and get back to
Yeah.
LA. And it was tough when this news broke. Khloe was so pregnant she couldn't leave Cleveland.
No,
Oh, no,
she had
she
the
can't
baby
fly.
2 days
No,
later.
no, she,
Yeah.
she was
Yeah.
at the
She
brink
can't
of
be on a
giving
flight.
birth. But
Right.
that I can't imagine how hard that would have been for
Oh my
her.
God.
Being stuck there, all these all these rumors swirling, these news reports coming out, and she can't leave. And she had set up her whole life. She had moved to Cleveland. There's a nursery. The whole plan was for her to be there.
She's in his house right now.
Yeah.
So.
Well, maybe they'll get some counseling.
Maybe.
And he'll be benched. I just know, and I don't want to speak for all you men, but the ones I've met want what they go for. And so she's going to have to make him work.
Yes, she does. And I feel like she will. I mean, it's Chloe.
Yeah, it's Chloe, right?
Yeah.
She's going to need more than a push present.
Yeah. Oh, it's serious. Seriously.
Oh my Lord.
Dwayne is saying how you get them is how you lose them.
Wait, who said that?
Dwayne.
You know what, Dwayne? Yes.
Yes,
That's
so
true.
right. I
That's
love
true.
that.
That's
It's
what
so
I was
true.
talking about.
Yeah, I
My
mean,
girls tell me that.
if he cheated on his first girlfriend while she was
But
pregnant,
don't
what
you
makes
feel
her
like
different?
you can one day be someone's inspiration? See,
Yeah.
so here's where my mother said I was lost, because that's how I spent most of my single years. I
Yeah.
was like, Mom, I'm going to be his inspiration to change whatever it was. And she said, you can only change a man if he's in diapers.
Yes.
Like, you're not going to actually change him.
Right.
You
Yeah.
can't inspire him. And I'm like, no, but I'm a motivational speaker. And she's like, stop.
Yeah. He also has to really want to change, too.
Yes,
Yeah.
he has to. And I mean, she tried to do it with Lamar, and he couldn't do it. He couldn't change.
He
Yeah.
had other issues.
He had some other issues. But Linda's saying, you lie down with dogs, you get fleas.
Oh, Linda!
But the thing is, you could put a collar on him.
Right.
I'm just
Yeah,
saying.
but that's just a temporary fix. Then
For
the
the
collar is no
fleas,
longer
yes.
effective. The collar can fall off. The
Oh
fleas
my
come
Lord. Do you have a
back.
dog?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, you must have a
Yeah,
dog.
I do.
Amazing.
Wow.
All right, let's move on to John Cena and Nikki Bella, because they have split after 6 years together. The couple told us in a statement, while this decision was a difficult one, we continue to have a great deal of love and respect for one another. Now, an insider tells us that although John is the love of her life, she needs to focus on herself, and she is the one that called off the engagement. However, a source does tell us they could get back together in a year. What do you guys think about this one? This was surprising, because they were supposed to get married May 5th in Mexico. It's only a couple weeks
coming
away.
up.
And they've been so open about their relationship on reality television. He always said that he didn't want to have kids. She wanted to.
Yeah.
So it seems like this
There
probably...
were definitely some issues there,
Yeah.
and we had talked to her over the months leading up to the wedding, and she said, she hopes that someday he would come around and decide he does actually want to have kids. There were also some issues. He's hard and very fixed in his ways.
Yeah, he's very
Yes.
rigid.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
so our
he didn't wanna
sources
get
had
married
said
for a
that-
while.
Yeah, our sources said that also created some tension between them.
You don't get to look like he does and be as athletic as he is in his field without discipline and focus.
Oh,
Yeah.
sure.
So, I mean, I do understand that. You know, it's odd. So, at our outnumbered table at the White House Correspondents' Dinner 2 years ago, they were our guests.
Oh, really?
And they were delightful.
I
And
love
this would have
that.
been about a year before they got engaged.
Okay.
And, I was joking with others at the table. Who was at the table? Anthony Scaramucci was there. Scaramucci was there with his wife.
He came to one of our parties.
Oh, yeah, he's amazingly funny. We had a fun table.
Yeah.
We had, do you know who Matthew Morrison is?
Yeah, from
From
Glee.
Glee? Yes,
Yeah.
I have a picture with him too, because I was like, oh my goodness gracious, you look so different off that show. Because, no one on that show was really 16.
Right.
Yeah. He at least played a teacher.
He did,
so
but
He
He
did,
was
but
yeah.
even on that, you realize when you meet him, you're like, you're a grown-up guy.
Yeah.
You've had your job for a minute,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
No, really nice guy. So we had
Yeah.
a fun table, and those two were really beautiful
Yeah,
together.
they are.
And you would try to interact and maybe like, hey, here we are on the other side. They were like this.
Yeah.
Wow. And I mean, I've been married for a while. I was like, is that what young love looks
I know.
like?
I don't forget my husband like that anymore.
Yeah, I mean, wow, that makes me a bit thirsty. But I will say this. When I read that he had her sign a 75-page
Yeah. What?
agreement just to move into the apartment and that she would only be called a guest, the young woman who I met would not take that.
Oh, no way.
And only love makes you see with such blindness.
Sure.
So, but I get he wants to control his environment.
Yeah.
It goes back to what he's used to
Yeah.
to keep himself, ready for battle, if you will, even though it's entertainment battle. But just meeting the two of them, I would never have guessed that he was the controlling one, because he was looking at her like, I think it's possible they could come together again once they sort some things out.
Maybe.
I just don't think you could fake what I witnessed. They
Yeah.
were really sweet.
And-
But 75 pages, by the way, is longer than the U.S. Census that they put front door. Like, that's a lot of
That's a
pages.
lot. What are you saying
What are
in
you
that
saying in
document?
75
I don't get
pages?
I
it.
don't know, but it was
Like-
before they got married, so it's like a prenup.
Right.
Yeah.
That's weird.
Yeah.
Prenup before you prenup.
Yeah,
Like,
it doesn't
totally.
make any
it's doubled
sense.
up.
I have no idea. Megan says better to get out before they walk down the aisle. That is very true.
Yeah,
you don't
you
want to
gotta
have
work
these
it out.
problems.
Yeah, she could have been a runaway bride.
Oh my God, imagine.
Could have been way worse.
Oh,
But
man.
it was also interesting. He told us a couple months ago that they would go for months without seeing each other.
Right.
Which
Well, their schedules are crazy.
So,
Right, of
and I feel
course,
like
and they're
his
super popular.
career is just
That's-
about to take off to a whole new level because
Yeah.
he has
Yeah.
the movie that just came
So
out.
many commercials.
So many commercials.
Yeah.
I mean, he's getting to that like rock level
Yeah.
right now, or wants to
But
be.
you need a ride or die girl,
Yeah.
and Nikki felt like
Felt
that
like
to
that.
me.
Yeah.
She did. She did.
Yeah.
When people would walk by our table, I'm telling you, he didn't break eye contact. You guys, I've been married last Thursday 15 years.
Congrats.
Thank
Congrats,
you.
yeah.
And I mean, that's how Tony used to look at me.
There
Now
he
he
is.
does if I have like there he is.
There he
Oh my
is.
God.
Hey.
So now, if we're on vacation, he still feels that way. 'Cause
Yeah.
we don't have anything going on. Or if I have a child near
Yeah.
me, I think sometimes
Yeah.
it's like that split eye contact.
Yeah.
He might be looking at me.
Right, you're like, I love that.
Yeah, I really kind of felt like they had it. So I'd like to see it. But really, you have got to not sign anything longer than a page or two.
Yeah.
No, that doesn't make
Stephanie
sense.
says, my 6-year-old son said he is now going to ask Nikki to marry him.
Oh,
so
so
sweet.
She was a doll, by the way.
Yeah, she's really
I mean,
sweet.
She's
Yeah.
really, really nice. And, you know, I can't imagine what it's like to be together for such a relatively short period of time and have your career blow up
Sure.
and not have a lot of the foundational parts and pieces that
Right.
we have as couples.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
You know, it takes time.
It does.
And have that all the public spectacle of it too.
Yeah.
Right, yeah,
Their
totally.
engagement on the WWE stage, like that's.
And people will say, well, they choose that. Well, but they have it. They're allowed to have a dream.
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
dream may come with a lot of other things.
Sure. Right,
But they're
totally.
allowed to dream.
They are. All right, speaking of dream, let's talk about this fairy tale wedding that's about to come up.
Oh, let's talk
We are
about
only
it.
weeks away from the royal wedding, and as the days go by, we are getting more and more details about the big day. Sources tell us that Meghan has been working with several designers about multiple dresses she may wear after the ceremony. And as for the Obama snub, it was nothing personal. They wanted to keep both the Obamas and Trumps off the list as it wasn't required to they invite world leaders. So they wanted to keep, you know, everything pretty cordial. I mean, they're having 600 people, so they are having a lot of guests.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
They have a lot of
it
guests.
should be, I'm so excited.
So-
I cannot wait.
You can't convince me that there are not some people probably on that list of 600 who might lead something somewhere.
Oh,
There-
yeah.
there's gonna
but
have
there
to
is
be
a
someone.
special difference when you talk about the past administration and the current one. I mean, our politics are some of the most famous topics in the world.
Sure.
You know, so I totally get that. I'm super excited to see how do you make the decision of what to wear.
Oh my God.
Look
Yeah.
at the princesses who went and the duchesses. I guess Kate Middleton's technically a duchess. In my world, she's a queen because she's about to have another baby.
Any
minute,
second
any
now.
minute.
And
Yeah.
like right now,
Right.
like
She
you're
could-
live
she-
on Facebook.
she could have.
But if
Give
she
birth,
has
we
the
don't-
baby right now, she'll be out tomorrow morning just like waving in front of the hospital. 'cause
totally,
she
and
is
looking
superhuman,
flawless.
Kate Middleton. Yeah.
I'm still trying to recover. Mine is 8.
But I think
yeah.
this
How do
is
you make
just,
that decision?
I have no idea. That is really, really tough. And I mean, all the spotlight is all on you. You have to really bring your A game.
For
so
everything,
For
from
everything.
the cake to the flowers,
Yeah.
it's really unbelievable.
It's going to be a really fantastic day. But what else are we learning? We're learning about the cake. We're learning about the bridal party.
Yep.
So she's
Yeah.
kind of doing things a little bit differently, right?
Yeah,
Well,
but she can.
yeah.
too.
She is. I'm curious though too. I guess the men in the family don't wear rings, but he's going
He's
to wear
going
a ring.
to.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but I like that they're blazing their own trail, breaking away from tradition, and I think it's inspirational. It also reflects the UK and beyond in 2018.
What's your favorite part of the process?
Oh gosh, I don't know. I want to see more of a bachelorette party. Actually, I like when she
Wow.
I like when she gets down into.
I
Like,
don't get out enough
real-
to
I want-
hang out with you. You're fun.
Yeah.
I want real
You guys are
Meghan
great.
Markle.
Oh
Like,
my God, I love this.
So what is that? Is that Meghan Markle on Suits? I caught her on a Hallmark movie last
Yes.
weekend. I watched it twice. I thought she was great.
Yeah,
Yeah.
she's
Yeah, the
fantastic.
dating handbook or something like that.
Right.
She was really good in that.
She is
that was the
good.
Meghan that I bet she puts Harry on.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, well
on-
he seems like a lot of fun too.
blast.
So
he's
yeah,
a lot of
yeah,
fun.
based
We
on
all
those
remember
Vegas,
that.
trips.
Yeah, those
the
Vegas
Vegas
moments.
trips.
Yeah.
But it's going to be so fantastic. Are you doing like a viewing party? Are you?
You know, I'm not going to do a viewing party.
Okay.
I actually have a speech the day that they're getting married. So
Okay.
after work, I'll be talking and you know doing what I do to motivate people. But I'll watch everything on DVR. However, my girls are doing a dress up with all of their
So
American
cute.
Girl dolls, because they have a squad of dolls.
I love
which
that.
is why I can't stop working.
Especially American Girl dolls.
I
You
know.
really
So
gotta-
we've made, and I don't sew very much, but I can do a lot with Velcro.
Yeah.
So we cut up some materials and things, and we've done our own little wedding party. I'll send you guys a picture.
Oh, please
It's
do.
really
I'd
cute.
love
So
to
the
see
girls
that.
are going to do that, and the days kind of leading up. I still can remember Princess Diana's wedding like it was yesterday. Like
Remember that
I was
dress.
kind of in those. We all were. We were in
Right.
those like formative years where that was like one of the biggest stories
Oh,
ever.
definitely.
And I mean, I loved it. I never really did understand the sleeve.
Big shoulder
Like there
pad.
was
Yeah.
some fashion
It's a British thing, a
decision
British thing.
that was made there. That's why I'm wondering, what kind of pressure does Meghan have? Like,
And the
how do you
designer.
choose what to
Yeah.
wear?
Yeah.
Ooh, Nancy said something. What'd she say?
She seems like trouble.
Who
Megan.
seems like
Meghan.
trouble?
Oh, man. Oh, Nancy.
You know what I'm actually most excited for?
Who's Nancy?
She is not a fan of Meghan.
No.
I'm most excited about the Queen.
Oh, I can't wait to see what the
Yeah.
Queen wears.
Yeah. What is she
Yes.
gonna wear?
Ugh,
Will
love
she say anything?
Right.
Oh, you
I
know
w-
she will.
she will.
I want to see
yeah.
her
About to
dance.
be
You know,
upset.
No,
she's
totally.
not going to be dancing.
No,
but
she
I want to see
won't.
the
No.
Queen dancing.
But I love the moment where they get out and, you know, they have their first kiss in front of everybody.
But will they do
This-
some like Cardi B?
I hope
Like,
so.
where's that
Imagine their first dances to Bodak
Yeah.
Yellow.
like, I just want something real there. And,
Right.
you know, again, I mean, Meghan Markle represents, I can't be the only person in the room who sees this. I mean, I am tan, but my daughters are biracial, and I'm looking and I'm thinking, you know, that's a conversation
Oh, yeah.
in Europe. I'm
100%.
sure you guys have been covering it.
Definitely.
100%,
Yeah.
yes.
And I think we may be getting to the point where we can just talk about people as people.
Oh,
That's
totally.
what this does to me.
Yeah.
This takes away everything else, and let's just talk about people as people now. I can't wait to
can't
see it. And what is he going to wear?
I know.
That's
whatever.
exciting. Something like black and white. The designer
Right.
isn't as like fascinating for
Yeah.
who Harry
Oh, I'd like
wears.
to see him break out in like a suit that's all one pattern.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Like a dark navy.
Sure.
Mixed with like a tartan.
Yeah.
Yes,
Hey,
yes.
very
a little bit-
British.
a little-
Very,
yeah, and he
yes.
has the
Right, like a
military
black
thing.
and a right.
Yeah.
Look at
Could
me.
be.
I don't know anything, but I'm hanging out with you guys. I feel like I'm bringing the fashion.
You
for
have
Prince
been,
Harry.
and you've definitely brought the fun. Thank you so much for coming.
you,
This was so much
Christina.
fun. And make sure everybody pick up Harris's book, 9 Rules of Engagement, out June 5th. It's on pre-order right now too. So make sure everybody
you.
goes out and get it. And make sure you pick up the latest issue of Us Weekly on newsstands right now, because
Get
there
it.
is so much more in this week's issue. And for much more on all these stories, make sure you head on over to usmagazine.com. Thanks, guys. Bye.